Hello everybody, I want to welcome you guys back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Vue, and we're going to do a few part series over just how to write the best structured Vue project from the beginning that allows you to really build scalable apps, because there's really not any specific pattern about going of things. So just out of a lot of experience with frameworks like React and Angular JS, since Vue is kind of like their stepchild, created from the best that React has and the best that Angular JS has. So we're going to just go over the best ways to build the project from scratch. I'm not going to really go into so much about installation. You can go into Vue.js. This doesn't really show you, it does show you how to install Vue.js, but it's not really the best way out. At least I prefer. This will show you how to import the script itself, or you can download the file and then use it in your application. But what I usually like to do is go to cli.vuejs.org, and you can get the CLI. Everything really comes from that in general. So once you got the CLI installed, you can actually run Vue UI, which will run their UI system, which is really nice. It's a GUI made that can manage your projects for you. So once you see this project dashboard here, we'll go into Vue Project Manager. You'll probably start out in this Vue Project Manager, and we're going to create a project. You can also import a project if it doesn't show up in here. You can favorite projects and show you other projects here. So we're going to go and create one here. We're going to pick our directory, which I have down here somewhere, Colab Coding, right here. All right, so we create a new project. We type in the name, we'll just call it Vue Test, and then you get to pick a package manager. I enjoy Yarn a little bit more than NPM. And they can have stuff like overwrite target, folder if it exists, scaffold your project without beginner instructions. Usually I like to keep those instructions there, just nice little refresher. And then initializing the Git repository with initial commit message, which I just say init. Okay. So here is where you have presets. If you're not familiar with this screen, you get to choose what kind of packages you want installed with your Vue project. And I have a couple presets here, but we're just going to go through the manual. Default preset has Babel and ESLint, but manual you can add a lot more. As you can see, some of these presets I saved have a lot to them. So if you hit next, you can see that we have Babel, which I don't touch that. Obviously, we need that for compiling purposes. TypeScript, I don't really usually do much TypeScript, but if you like TypeScript, I enjoy TypeScript, but I happen to really enjoy ES6 in general, ES6, 7, whatever it is now. But then PWA, Progressive Web App, this just allows you to store your web app as a phone icon. You can have a manifest, and your phone will have the icon as if it's a native app, but it's running in the web browser. I don't really care for that too much right now, but we're going to add the router because we always want a router. I never ever would make a project without the router. And then Vuex. And Vuex is the data layer, just kind of like a MobX or Redux for React. Vuex is the data layer for Vue. And then I also would always go with a CSS preprocessor. I would never not go with that. Obviously, I have a linter. Go with some unit testing here and some end-to-end testing. All right, now use history mode for the browser, for the router, sorry, by using HTML5 history API URLs don't. So this requires proper setup for fallback in production. I'm not really concerned about that so much right now. Most likely you probably won't use it, it depends. Basically, if you want URL5 or HTML5 URL history without the hashtag, if you want clean URLs, that's fine. But pick a CSS preprocessor here. We'll just go with less. That's what I'm familiar with. They're all pretty similar. Stylus just removes like the colons and semicolons and such. Pick a linter, formatter. Usually I go with ESLint with Prettier. A lot of people go with Airbnb, which has pretty much the standard these days. Airbnb has a lot of rules they wrote. But I like Prettier a lot. So, and lint on save. Everything gets linted and cleaned. Pick a unit test solution. I always go with Mocha Chai. Just I usually use for like React, but I'm a Mocha Chai guy. And pick end-to-end testing. I always go with Selenium based Nightwatch. Some people go with Cypress. Actually, Cypress is really nice. I could go with Cypress. It's not. I'm not gonna do any end-to-end testing in here anyways. But Cypress is really cool if you want to check it out. So we can save this preset, and I already have the ones that I really want saved. But so I'll just continue without saving, and then it's going to create our project for us. All right, now we got our project created. There's a lot of different things here. You can go to plugins here. We already chose the router and the Vuex. So normally those would actually show up in icons or buttons up here. So if you didn't have it installed already, just one button quickly adds it to your project, and it'll even add the code into there as well. It'll modify the files for you, which is really nice. So you got an example already set up for you. You don't have to go and wiring things up. And then you can add a plugin here. If I want to add a plugin, I can look at all kinds of plugins. There's a lot of cool plugins you can look into. Dependencies as well here. And the thing about Pug, to get this Pug working, is we're just going to install a couple dependencies. One is Pug. So we're going to install Pug here. And we'll install one more, which is Pug plain loader. And there we go. And you can set it up as a dev dependency if you want. If you click this flag, it'll load as a dev dependency, but this is going to be a main dependency. So it's not going to be a dev. Anything like Karma or testing base or like minifying or something like that, that'd be dev dependencies. So we're going to install Pug because we want our project to start out from the beginning with all the packages that we want to start writing code in rather than switching later. You can go to configuration. I haven't really looked into too much in this configuration thing here, but it's just like all the config settings for different things. The ESLint, it's basically the RC files loaded into the browser, which are nice. And then you got tasks, and this is all your gulp tasks basically. And so serve is one of them. Actually, these are NPM tasks. And you can even write your own NPM task and it'll run up in here or show up in here anyways. So we just want to serve it, want to run everything. We'll click run task here, and we get statistics about our app, which is really nice. Right now it's compiling, success, the size of everything, the modules, dependencies, a lot of good stuff here. And how long it's been running. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I'm not going to go through all of it, but feel free to look through it. And then we can click this open app button here. And there's our Vue app. So it was just that simple to get an app started. Now we're going to jump into the code here. And the way we do that is actually open up a new tab and then you see my project here, Vue test. So it'll CD into that. And I'm going to open up it into my VS Code here, which is what I'm going to use. Now, if we open up here, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys. You see that in the source we have, I'm not going to worry about everything outside the source right now, but package JSON is the the scripts is where you're going to see serve, build, lint, test, unit test, all that stuff. Those are the ones that show up in here. So build, lint, new, whatever you put inside of here, I'll show you real quick. Cool thing. This is awesome. I don't know. Not going to really do anything, but if you have any custom tasks, when I refresh, cool thing right there. Cool. Awesome. So it's really nice. And now we got our main JS, we got our router JS, we got our store JS, we got our app view, and then we got views here, we got about, home, and components. Hello world. So the first things first, what I'm going to do real quick is convert everything to Pug, because like I said, I want to start out from the beginning with the code exactly the way I want it. So there's this HTML to pug.com, and I go in here and I just paste it. I can see what the Pug looks like. So copy the pug, paste it in here. You see it doesn't look right. And so we do lang equals pug. Now our language is pug. Go back to our app. It keeps refreshing all the time to make sure that every time you make a change, it refreshes. So we can see that everything is still good. We can open up a console just to see any errors. I just press Command Option J if you're on Mac. I think it's Control Shift J on Windows. I'm not sure. Or F12 on Windows, actually. We'll do that. But now we got our stuff in Pug here. It's much cleaner. And even we don't even need that line right there. Same thing with home. Okay, sometimes it says if it takes longer than 10 seconds, press any key to restart conversion. There we go. Now one thing it doesn't do, you see hello world? Hello world is capital H and capital W, as you can see from here. So we have to fix that ourselves. So I'm gonna go back to the code here. Tab that in. Lang equals pug. And now if we save it, go to our test here, you'll see that hello world is not defined. It's unknown custom element. So we have the element, we just imported it right here. We can just copy that and paste it. Okay, we're good to go. No more errors in the about page. We'll go ahead and do that as well. Actually, what I want to do instead of converting it every time is just changing it myself, because it's really good to know how to do it. You do a dot for a class, a hashtag for ID. So if you don't put a tag before this here, then it assumes it's a div. So lang equals pug. So that would be a div. And you can actually have it mixed in with different things. So I can have, HTML with regular HTML with my pug. Although this is not the greatest way to go about it, but it works. So I'm going to bring this down to just an H1 and space and there. And then that's about it for that. So that works. And then hello world. There's a lot of stuff in here, so I'm not going to obviously convert it myself. Okay. Converted pretty quickly for me. Thank you for that. You see it's throwing an error right here. All right, lang equals pug. And it's still throwing errors because this got undented. Let's undo that and start over again to make sure the indentation is correct. Okay, that should look good. Perfect. Works fine. All right, so now that we got all that into Pug, the last thing I'm going to do here is just make sure that the router is working correctly. So in our app view, we got router view, which is good, and our router links. And this is how you route. So when you click on the about, you go to the pages, and you can see the hash shows up. So obviously we'd want to have clean URLs one day. But the cool thing is it's really easy to add that plugin to be able to change the URLs. So that's it for part one. I'm going to go a lot more into depth into part two and part three and continue with this. I want to thank you guys for watching.